Hi guys, let's start the new exercise, exercise 2B. There is no new concept that I need to teach you. It's the same concept that we've done, which is compound interest is nothing but repeated simple interest, where the interest of year 1 gets added to the principal of year 2 and the interest of year 2 gets added to the principal of year 3. That's why the principal keeps on increasing. That's why year on year the interest value keeps on increasing. Let's look at a question. It says calculate the difference between SI and CI on 4,000 rupees in 2 years at 8% per annum compounded annually. Let's calculate the simple interest first. So uh, simple interest will be P into R into T upon 100. In this case, principal is 4,000. The rate is given is 8. Time is 2 and upon 100. So this is equal to 8 into 2, 16. 16 into 4, 64. So that's rupees 640. So that's the simple interest for the given period. Let's calculate compound interest. So it's 2 years and this is being compounded annually. So for year 1, compound interest for year 1 will be equal to principal, which is 4,000 into 8. Year 1, which means 1 year upon 100, which means this is equal to rupees 320. Notice this is exactly half of this. For year 1, in this case, this would be 320. In the second year is also 320. But in case of compound interest, the compound interest for the second year will be more than compound interest for first year. Let's look at that calculation. So uh, amount at the end of year 1 will be equal to principal 1 plus compound interest 1, which is equal to rupees 4,320, and this is equal to principal 2. Now let's look at year 2. So for year 2, compound interest 2 would be equal to principal, in this case 4320 multiplied with 8 multiplied with 1 upon 100. So that's 432 into 8, that's 320, uh, and 30 into 8, that's 240, so 344 and 16. So this 345.60. Right? Let me just reconfirm. 432 into 8, 8 into 2, 16, 25, 32 and 34. Perfect. That my calculation was correct. I hope you noticed that I added an extra zero on my own, because since we are talking about money, money is always written with 2 decimal places. So this is our total. This is our CI for year 2. Total compound interest, like I have talked about in the previous video, you can look at that as final amount minus initial principal, or you can you can find it as compound interest 1 plus compound interest 2. So let's look at compound interest 1 plus compound interest 2. In this case, this is 320 plus 345.60, which is equal to rupees 665.60. They want us to find the difference between CI and SI. So compound interest minus simple interest is equal to 665.60 minus 640, which is equal to rupees 25.60. So that's the correct answer. Difference between compound interest and simple interest is 25 rupees 60 paisa. Let's look at the next question. The next question we do is question number 5. A man borrows rupees 5,000 at 12% compound interest payable every 6 months. So the time period in which it gets compounded is 6 months. He pays 1,800 at the end of every 6 months. Calculate third payment he has to make at the end of 18 months to clear the entire loan. So let's look at for first 6 months. So the principal is 5,000, rate is 12%, in any case rate is not changing, and time is 6 months, which is 1 upon 2 year. So compound interest for the first term is equal to principal into rate into time upon 100, which is 2126. This is equal to rupees 300, which means amount at the end of year 1 is equal to principal plus compound interest, which is equal to rupees 5,300. But at this point, he repays 1800. So therefore, principal 2 is equal to amount 1 minus repayment, in this case 1800, which is equal to 5300 minus 1800, which is equal to 3500. So let's look at for second 6 months. In this case now, principal is equal to rupees 3500, R is still 12%, and time again 6 months, so this is half year. Let's calculate compound interest for the second term, which is 3500 into 12 into half upon 100. That's double zero gets cancelled, 2 1 2 6, that's 180 and 30, that's rupees 210, which means amount 2, which is equal to principal 2 plus compound interest 2, which is 3500 plus 210, that's rupees 3710. At this point of time, again he repays 1800 rupees, which means principal 3 is equal to amount 2 minus 1800, which is 3700 minus 1800, which is rupees 1910. 37 minus 18, yeah, that's correct, 1910. And now let's calculate for third 6 months. So this is the 18 months when they get over. In this case, P3 we just calculated was 1910. Let's calculate compound interest for the third term. So that's principal multiplied with rate multiplied with time upon 100. That's 2 1 and 2 6. So this is 191 into 6. 6 nines are 54. 6 plus 11. 1146, which means divided by 10, which is 114.6, is equal to rupees 114.6. I just lost 1 mark in the final exam because money is written in 2 decimal places. So the correct answer will be 114.60, which means amount at the end of third term will be 1910 plus 114.60, which would be equal to rupees 2024.60. So that's the total money outstanding at the end of 18 months, which he needs to pay to clear the entire loan. Let's look at the next question. The next question we do is question number 6. It says, on a certain sum of money, difference between compound interest for a year, payable half yearly, and simple interest for a year is 180. So what is given is compound interest minus simple interest is equal to rupees 180. Rate is 10% for both compound interest and simple interest. Since the money is not given, let principal is equal to P is equal to rupees 100. Let's calculate simple interest first, then we'll calculate compound interest. So simple interest would be equal to P into R, in this case 10, into time for a year, right? So that's 1 upon 100, which is equal to rupees 10. Let's look at compound interest. This is payable half yearly, which means we have 2 terms of 6 months each. So for first 6 months, compound interest 1 will be equal to principal 100 into rate into time, in this case half a year, upon 100, which is equal to 5 rupees 5. Therefore, amount at the end of 1 year will be 105, which is equal to principal for the second term, which is the second 6 months. So for second 6 months, which means now when this term gets over, the full year will be over. Compound interest 2 would be equal to principal, which is 105, into rate into half a year upon 100. That's 5 into 2, that's 5 into 21, which is equal to 21 upon 4, which is equal to rupees 5.25. Therefore, total compound interest for the year will be 5 plus 5.25, which is equal to rupees 10.25. So what's the difference between CI and SI in this case? So difference between CI and SI in this case is 10.25 minus 10, which is equal to rupees 0.25. Now let's use unitary method and calculate the value of P. Let's check. So when difference is 0.25, principal is 100. Therefore, when difference is, as per the question, difference is 180, P is equal to 180 into 100 upon 0.25. Let's do this calculation. This is 180 into 100. I am removing the decimal, which means I'm multiplying the numerator with 100. That's 25 1, 25 4, which is 4 into 18. That's 72 with 3 zeros is equal to rupees 72,000. Perfect. So this is basically the method used for when the sum is not given. Let's look at the next question. The next question that we do is question number 7. It says a manufacturer estimates his machine depreciates. Oh, so you can use the same compound interest formula for depreciation as well. Now depreciation basically means the value of the machine keeps going down over a period of time. That's very obvious. When you buy it new, it has more value. That's why it is priced more. As and when it keep getting old, the value of the machine keeps going down, which is known as depreciation. So a manufacturer estimates his machine depreciates by 15% at the beginning of each year. We need to find original value, which is basically we need to find the principal if it depreciates by 5355 during year 2. So let original value of the machine be rupees 100. I will try and do this question using two different methods. Let's look at the method 1, which is exactly the same as what I had used in the previous question, where I'm taking the value as a value as 100 rupee. So for year 1, depreciation for year 1 will be equal to, again, the value of the machine, in this case 100, into rate into time, in this case 1 upon 100, which is equal to rupees 15. So if the value of the machine goes down by 15 rupee, what is the value at the end of the year? Therefore, value of machine at the end of year 1 is equal to 100 minus 15 is equal to rupees 85. So now at the end of the year 1, which is basically the beginning of year 2, the machine value is 85. Let's look at year 2. So for year 2, depreciation for year 2 would be equal to the value of the machine into the rate at which it depreciates multiplied with 1 upon 100. So this is 5 into 3, that's 5 into 20, that's 5 into 4, that's 5 into 1, 17, which is 51 upon 4, which is equal to rupees 12.75. So the machine depreciates by 12 rupees 75 paisa in year 2. I hope you notice that the depreciation value keeps going down as the year progresses. In year 1, it had depreciated by 15 rupee. In year 2, is depreciating by 12 rupees 75 paisa. That's because the value of the machine has gone down. Correct. So now we'll find out the again using unitary method. In year 2, it is depreciating by 12 rupees 75 paisa when the original value was 100. So in this case, it's depreciating by 5355. What would have been the original value? So when depreciation in year 2 is 12 rupees 75 paisa, original value is equal to rupees 100. Therefore, when depreciation in year 2 is 5355, 55. Original value will be equal to 5355 into 100 upon 12.75. Let's remove the decimal. So this would be 5355 into 100 upon 1275 multiplied with 100. To remove the decimal, I have multiplied it with 100. So let's divide this by what? 25. Okay, that's 25 into 4. 25 into 5 is 125. That's 25, which means 1. So 51 into, let's divide by 3. That's 3 into 17. This is 3 into 1, 3, 23. That's 3 into 7, 21. That's 25. 3 into 8, 24. That's 3 into 5, 25. And this is divisible by 17. 17 into 1, 17, 1, 0. 17 5s are 85. So this is 4 into 105. That's 420 multiplied with 20, which means 420 followed by 20. So the original value of the machine is 42,000 rupees. So this is when I used the unitary method. Let's solve this question using the second method, which is if we take the value as x. So that's the second method that I'm talking about. You decide which method you're comfortable with. Let original value be rupees x. So depreciation in year 1 will be equal to value of the machine multiplied by 15. It's for 1 year upon 100. That's 5 into 3, 5 into 20, which is 3x upon 20. Therefore, value of machine at the end of the year, at the end of year 1, will be equal to original value minus the depreciation, which is 3x upon 20, which is equal to 17x upon 20. Next, depreciation in year 2 would be value of the machine, which is 17x upon 20 into 15%, which is 15 upon 100. So this is 5 into 3, 5 into 4, which is 17 into 3, 51x upon 400. And depreciation in year 2 is given equal to 5355. Let's cross multiply and find the value of x. X would be equal to 400 into 5355 upon 51. We just did this calculation. This is 51 times 105. Therefore, x is equal to 42,000. So original value of the machine is 42,000. So I've shown you two methods of solving this question. You use the method which you're more comfortable with. Let me move on to the last question of this exercise that I solved with you. The last question I solved with you is question number 10. Let's look at question 10. It says a man borrows rupees 10,000 at 5% per annum compound interest. He repays 35% at the end of first year, 42% of sum borrowed at the end of second year. How much must he pay by the end of third year to clear the debt? So for year 1, principal is equal to 10,000. Rate remains the same, which means compound interest for year 1 will be principal 10,000 into rate, which is 5 into 1 upon 100, which is equal to rupees 500, which means amount at the year of end of year 1 will be 10,000 plus 500, which is 10,500. He is repaying. Repayment 1 is equal to 35% of the sum borrowed, which is 35% of 10,000, which is equal to rupees 3,500. What this means is principal for year 2 will get reduced by 3,500. Therefore, principal for year 2 would be 10,500 minus 3,500, which is equal to rupees 7,000. Let's calculate compound interest for year 2. So this is now year 2. This is principal, which is 7,000, into rate, which is 5, into time upon 100, which is equal to 7 into 5, that's 350. Which means amount at the end of 2 years would be 7,350. Now again, at this point of time, he makes a repayment, which means repayment second is equal to 42%. Repayment 2 is equal to 4,200. 42% of 10,000, that's 4,200. Therefore, principal for year 3 would be 7350 minus 4200, which will be equal to rupees 3,150. That brings us to the last year. So for year 3, principal 3 we just calculated as 3150. Compound interest for third year will be 3150 into 5 into 1 upon 100. So that's 5 into 315, 1500 and 75. So 1575 by 10, that's 157.5. But with a 0 because this is money. So this is the interest for third year. We need to calculate the total money he needs to pay at the end of third year. Therefore, amount 3 would be equal to principal 3 plus compound interest 3, which is 3150 plus 3250, 3300 and 7 rupee 50 paisa. So 3307.50. So this is the money that he must repay at the end of third year to clear his loan completely. I have marked a couple of homework questions. Please solve them. In any case, I would also be posting a homework video. Take care, be safe. If you have any queries, feel free to write into me. Subscribe to the video, share it and like it. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.